Rice, what an absolutely fabulous food it is. It's the staple diet of about half the world's population. And it's small wonder because it is nutritious, delicious, and versatile. It makes great leftovers. And it's leftovers I'm using today in the Consuming Passions cheese and rice balls. Cooked rice wrapped around a spicy cheese filling, made into a ball, rolled in breadcrumbs, and deep fried to absolute perfection. And so simple. I start the process with my cheese filling. Into a bowl, I put cheese or a mixture of cheeses. The choice is really up to you, but I like to use a cheese such as Jarlsberg or Gruyere, something with just a little sweetness. A cup or so, and I add a teaspoon of paprika, that wonderful dried spice from the capsicum family, which comes usually from Hungary or from Spain, and a light grating of nutmeg. A pinch of pepper, and I like to use white pepper for this. I don't know why, I just prefer it. And a tablespoon of finely chopped Italian parsley. Or you could use coriander leaves or a mixture of both. Once this is well mixed up, I press it into a firmish ball. This is the mixture for the middle of the rice balls. Now to the rice. This is cooked rice, and it's not exactly gluggy, but the grains are sticking together just nicely. And I wet the hands and just mold the rice into a little patty shape as best I can. I prefer to use a short grain rice or pudding rice. A risotto type of rice is perfect for this. You can use long grain rice for this, but it does tend to be a little too separate. This can be fixed by cooking it a little more with some milk. It'll release more of the starch, which sticks it together. Once done, I make an indentation and put in a little, about a teaspoon, of the filling. Wrapping the rice around to seal as best I can. It really doesn't matter if a little of the filling pops out. Once the balls are made, they're rolled in plain flour and then into beaten egg, a couple of eggs beaten with a little salt, which helps break down the whites. Then they're removed and rolled into crumbs, breadcrumbs or cornflake crumbs, or I suppose any other similar breakfast cereal. The excess is shaken off and the balls are ready for cooking. Deep or shallow fried in a little lightly flavored oil such as canola or peanut oil. Or you could put the balls in the refrigerator until you need to cook them. And it's best to use a wideish pan to minimize the likelihood of the oil foaming over the top. By the way, if you want to test whether the oil is hot enough, just drop in a cube of bread. It should float to the surface immediately and fizz. The balls are then cooked for 4 or 5 minutes, depending on the size. Then they're drained and put on paper towel to remove excess fat. There, it's that simple. How simple? Well, the degree of difficulty, low to medium. Preparation time, about 30 minutes. And leftover potential, well, they're best eaten immediately, but maybe warmed up later, or they could be eaten cold. The Consuming Passions cheese and rice balls, perfect on their own or with a lovely green salad accompaniment. Another terrific accompaniment would be a crisp, dry white wine. Semillon or Sauvignon Blanc or a blend would be superb. From Consuming Passions, till next time, bon appétit.